All right, thanks for joining us, everyone, as we introduce the seventh head coach in the history of Western Michigan varsity ice hockey. Pat Ferschweiler played at Western Michigan from 1990 to 1993, appearing in 116 games in 3 seasons with 95 points, 30 goals, and 65 assists. He captained the Broncos during the 1992-93 season and was named the CCHA's best defensive forward that year. After graduating in just 3 years, he began his pro hockey career, which lasted 7 seasons, primarily in the IHL for the Kansas City Blades. After his playing career ended, he started the Russell Stover AAA hockey program in Kansas City and was the GM and head coach of the U18 team. He was lured back to Western Michigan by Jeff Blashill to be an assistant coach at WMU in 2010. After Blashill's departure to the Red Wings, he remained an assistant and then associate head coach with the Broncos under Andy Murray. In 2014, he rejoined Blashill's assistant with the Grand Rapids Griffins and then followed him to Detroit, where he was an assistant coach for 4 seasons with the Red Wings. Ferschweiler returned to Western Michigan in 2019 and was once again an associate head coach and was promoted to the position of head coach on Tuesday after the resignation of Andy Murray. He also has some international coaching experience, coaching the USA U17 team at the Five Nations tournament in 2018, and as assistant coach for the USA U18 team at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup in 2019, serving as the head coach the following year. Coach, thanks for joining us. Why don't you just give a brief opening statement here, and then we'll take questions.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Great job on the introduction. And I just, as I told the players and I told Andy, I want to thank President Montgomery, Athletic Director Beauregard, and Associate Athletic Director Jeff Stone for trusting me with the program and to lead it. I have full confidence that I'm ready for the job, and that we're gonna move this program, continue to move this program forward in such a positive direction.
All right, we'll open up for questions. If you could just use the raise hand function. Brad, go ahead.
Pat, when did you find out Andy was stepping down, and just what was your reaction to that? Is there a sense of surprise, or just your thoughts on hearing that?
You know, it was last Thursday was the first talk, so this has happened rather quickly. I think anyone who knows Andy Murray will be surprised when he, stepped down and is not going to be behind the bench anymore. And I'm sure he's not done with hockey. He'll find a different way to be involved. The man loves hockey. He has tremendous passion for hockey. He's a great hockey coach and a very good person. So in that regard, I was a little surprised, but at some point, Andy has done so much in hockey, and I think it was time he was ready. I think Ruth, his wife, was ready as much as anyone was. And so, again, I came, I told Kathy, 11 years ago when I came back here for the first time, I came back here to be the head coach. And this was something I prepared for, I've been ready for. And so I'm super comfortable in the role at this point.
Colin, go ahead.
With you ascending, to the head coach from that associate head coach role, there's now an opening for another assistant on the staff. Do you have any thoughts of how you want to go about filling out the rest of your staff?
Well, the search has started immediately last Thursday when they told me, and I've reached out to people that I trust and that I'm very confident in the hockey world that are my friends. That's where I'm going to start with those guys. Several very qualified people have already reached out to me, showing interest in the job. Obviously, with the season literally being just weeks away, we'll try to expedite the process, make it as quick as possible. But also, we want to get the right guy. I think Sauce's smiling over there because he knows I've been talking to some people already. But I'm very confident and that we're going to get a very good, qualified assistant coach in here to help.
Derek, go ahead. Derek, you're still muted.
Sorry about that. Thought I muted myself. Hello, Coach. Is there any differences you would say between you and how Coach Murray runs a hockey team?
Well, I think there are. There's similarities for sure, in that we'll be organized, we'll be ready, we'll demand excellence and effort every single day. Lots of similarities there. I think the best way to say it is I'm more of an invisible fence coach. So Andy's more of a permanent fence guy. So he puts you, he creates the boundaries and is like, here's the rules. I like to have the guys a little more freedom, maybe. But they certainly know where the line is. So if they cross it, they'll be corrected. But there's a little more ways to look around and enjoy the yard a little bit more, if that makes any sense. But I think we're both good communicators. We're both certainly demand effort and being great teammates. So I think there's a lot of similarities there. Our relationships with the guys may differ slightly in that I probably joke and interact with the players a little more in that regard. But it's again, the players will be a better judge of that than probably me. Yeah.
Go ahead, Robin.
Hey, Fersch, congrats on the position, and really happy for you. Now you slide over to the middle of the bench, but you also have all those other hats you got to wear as the head coach. You're involved in every single aspect of running a collegiate hockey team. Talk about the challenges that you face there as you undertake all those new responsibilities that come with the head coach's role.
Well, certainly, thanks, Robin, and certainly I'm going to have to learn what some of those actual responsibilities are at this point. But I'm aware there's fundraising, there's other things, there's certainly dealing with the alumni, all stuff I've kind of done already. But there is, it's not pro coaching where you just coach and then you have your summers off and there's nothing else. There is, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week job as far as recruiting, as far as being involved with the university. Engaging the alumni, engaging the fan base. I'm prepared and happy to do all those things. And some things I certainly didn't mention and I may not even know about yet, but I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to succeed at any kind of level or job that's asked of me to make the Broncos, a national power.
Pat, the Broncos have had plenty of on the ice success under Coach Murray, and they also have had a tremendous amount of academic success. You were a guy that was an academic all conference as a player. How do you expect that to continue under you? Well,
I think it's a lifestyle, and that's what we promote here. And I think that's why our guys have had success. I think you're going to be successful on or off the ice. It's a choice to try to be great at whatever you do. Not everyone is a straight A student. That's not the expectation, but the expectation is to be the best student you can be, to be the best player you can be, and really to be the best person you can be. I think that's the standard we've set here, and we've had some success on and off the ice with it.
Patrick, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, thanks for taking time to talk here. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about what specific things you learned from Andy that you think have you well prepared to take on this role.
Well, I say this often, but Andy has given me the gift of over preparation. And that what I mean by that is we are never surprised by anything. We've done our homework. We've whether it's film study, whether it's talking, whether it's listening to the other head coaches' press conferences, as much information as we can possibly have about our opponent, we're going to have, and as much and what the best possible way to use that in preparation to be successful in hockey games we're going to have. Now, we may differ slightly in the way that we use that information. Andy gives all the information out there to the players. I might be a little more selective in some of that and as more of an on as needed basis, but I think it's a great gift. We spend all our time so the players can be as well prepared as possible. And I think that's a gift he's passed on to me for sure.
All right, and one follow-up to that. This team competes in what many consider to be the toughest conference in college hockey. What are some things that you as head coach are going to emphasize to make sure Western stays toward the top half of the league?
Well, I think we're going to continue what we've been doing, and that's we play with passion, and our work ethic. We rarely, with North Dakotas of the world, with Denver, with Duluth, with the powerhouses that are in our St. Cloud. Certainly, this conference is, in my belief, the best conference in the country, and to compete with those guys, you can't just go on a talent basis. So we have to outwork, we have to out prepare, we have to out detail people to be successful here. And those are the three things that we're going to continue to do to be successful in this conference.
Coach, you talk about preparation, and one thing you're also going to be doing is preparing the guys for pro hockey. You have a quote attributed to you going around about, that your timeline is not your line mate's timeline. How do you kind of spread that philosophy to the guys to, don't worry necessarily about what your teammate's doing, and when he's ready for the pros, focus on yourself.
100%. It's, everyone, you can't look to the left or the right ever and compare yourself to anyone else. The people that are present and are trying to be great where they're at will be the people that then will succeed, have a chance to succeed at the next level. So be 100% there and present every single day. Don't attend practice, try to achieve at practice. And so those kind of guys, and that's our message every single day, make yourself better every single day. And if you do end up where you want to be, but make your place wherever you're at, your NHL, and then eventually you'll have some more success at a higher level after that.
Go ahead, Robin.
Pat, roster management is kind of difficult these days with the COVID way of moving forward. You've got maybe the largest roster ever in Western Michigan hockey history. Can you talk about that and maybe some of the challenges that presents?
It'll be a unique year roster wise, and it is large. I can't even, not exactly sure what the number is right now, but we certainly were surprised, I would say, by some of the people that returned. We're extremely happy that we got our 3 senior forwards back. They're all elite forwards. Ethan Frank, he's one of the fastest players in the league. We love him. We can't wait for him to be back. Paul Washy's a great leader. We're super excited that he's back. Josh Basalt's an elite player. We're very happy to have those guys back. And then Ronnie Adert, after being a first-team All-American and certainly an opportunity, all those guys had an opportunity to sign. And so them coming back, somewhat unexpectedly, but we're very happy for that, first of all. But it does put some pressure on roster management, and we're going to have to get through the year and find ice time and find a way to make everyone happy, which I'm confident we'll do. We have a lot of people here. We have a very tight-knit team. They all believe and like each other, and they all work extremely hard together. So that's just going to be a balancing act that I think we'll be successful with this year for sure, and we'll obviously trend our way back toward a lower roster number moving forward.
Will some of those young people, Pat, have an opportunity this year? Your freshmen, you brought in 3 or 4 of them.
No doubt about it, Robin. And as you well know, it's a daily competition, and practice to me is a competition for ice time in the game every single day. And those guys will have the same opportunity as a senior would have. Everyone will have the same opportunity. They're going to have to earn it every day. And, we'll see who wins that competition. And those will be the guys that get to dress every weekend.
Go ahead, Brett.
Pat, have you thought about how you want to deal with the transfer portal in the coming years? Obviously, you guys had all your guys come back this year and spots taken. Have you thought about how you want to piece together the freshman recruits and maybe leaving a spot open for a transfer a year? Has that crossed your mind yet?
For sure. It's a topic that is unique, obviously, and new. And we dealt with it this year. We actually did talk to a couple players in the transfer portal. We didn't really lose anyone to the transfer portal, but in the future, someone from Western will enter the portal and they'll leave, and we'll certainly keep our eye open. With the singular goal to make the Broncos the best possible hockey team we can be that year. So it's a tricky thing. You know, some people have brought in 4, 5, 6 transfers. Can they acclimate to your culture? Is your culture strong enough to have enough people from the outside? Can you add 1? Can you add 2? If you add no one, but just have belief in your group, is that the best message? So we will look at whoever's available. We will, hopefully have all our guys come back, but it will be a part of everyone's future, I believe, moving forward.
Go ahead, Colin.
You have some assistant experience in the NHL. Obviously, Andy Murray had plenty of NHL experience. How do you think that coaching at the next level helps you, to prepare both your student athletes for that future and this team right now?
Well, the NHL is obviously the best league in the world. They're dealing with the best players in the world. You have to be, 82 games is a game every other day for 6 months, essentially. So your preparation, your organization, and you have to learn, you cannot waste any time. So, and all the players have the extra 0 on their paycheck than we have, right? They all make way more than the coaches, but it teaches you, don't meet to meet. Don't ever show a clip or on video that is not necessary. So be ready, don't waste their time. I bring that back here. I joked in the press conference earlier that the players are going to have to get used to shorter meetings. I believe that. I think you have their attention in a meeting for 4 to 6 minutes. After that, your eyes start to wander. And so if you're going to have a meeting, have a point. Have it be impactful. If you're going to show a video clip, make it impactful. Don't just show a collection of clips for no reason. And again, that's on us. We need to take our time to be organized enough ahead of time to never waste the player's time. And that's one of the main things I took away from the National Hockey League, is to make sure we respect every player's time at every moment.
Any other questions for Coach Ferschweiler? All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining me. If you have
Thanks,
any other
guys.
questions, just follow it up with an email to me. Thanks.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.